Hello everyone, good morning. I am Arun Kumar again in front of you, and today I am again here with a very hot question that why to choose Azure Data Engineering as a career? Why to choose Azure Data Engineering as a career? Okay, so you ask me, Arun, so there are multiple technologies in the market on which data engineering is done. Okay, there are multiple tools and technologies. So why should we choose Azure as a tool to learn data engineering on that? So let me tell you, let me take example with few of the technologies. Okay, so there are few cloud platforms that are there in market, as I have already discussed this in my previous video. And these are some of the famous cloud platforms, these three. Okay, these three are some of the famous cloud platforms. Okay, Azure, AWS and GCP. And I told you that Azure is Microsoft product, AWS is Amazon Web Services Amazon product, and GCP Google Cloud Platform is Google product. Okay. Now let me tell you a story like how I decided to learn data engineering on this Azure platform. So when I was learning this data engineering, I decided to learn data engineering few years back. Then I did research on all these four platforms, right? Hadoop is also a platform on which data engineering is done. Okay, but now this Hadoop is getting replaced by these cloud platforms. This Hadoop is getting replaced by these cloud platforms. Now, only the companies that have Hadoop platform, mostly they are only using it, and also they are migrating to new cloud platforms. And the new companies which are adopting big data analysis are, I mean, very less likely that they are adopting this Hadoop as a platform for data engineering. Okay, this Hadoop as a platform for data engineering. Now, so let's remove this from picture because this technology has become somewhat old, and this technology had many difficulties in setting up this infrastructure in organization, and it has more complexity as compared to these technologies to work or to process big data. Okay, so let's remove this from picture because this is its demand is decreasing day by day, and these three things are coming in picture. Now these three technologies are there in market, right? It's very difficult for you to learn all of them. You have to choose one of them. You have to get expertise in one of the technologies, then you can expand your hands, and then you can move in all other technologies that are there in data engineering. Okay, for data engineering, the base remains same, the base concept same, right? Only the tools and technology changes. The concepts of data engineering, actually remain same. The concepts of data engineering actually remain same in almost in all of the places. The only thing that changes is tools and technologies. Tools and technologies. So if we talk about tools and technologies, what are those tools and technologies? So those tools and technologies are all these technologies that I have listed down here. And I also mentioned you in my previous videos like Snowflake, Informatica, Alteryx. All these are few of the other tools and technologies on which data processing is done. Data of very heavy amount is processed. Okay, so now let me pick up a very obvious question. So now I have removed this from picture. Okay, this has become somewhat old. Now the thing is, there are three cloud platforms on which data engineering can be done, and these three cloud platforms are called modern platforms. These three cloud platforms are called modern platforms. Okay, now when let me tell you a story like how I started, like why I started to learn with Microsoft. Okay, so when I was starting this AWS, I mean, let me pick from AWS. When I was starting to learn data engineering, I started investigating on all these technologies, and I rejected this Hadoop data. I will not learning this data engineering on Hadoop. Then I started looking at these cloud platforms. When I did some research on AWS, I found that when I did some research on this AWS, I found this AWS has most market share in the market. This AWS had the most market share in the market. But another thing was every second people that I looked around me, like earlier I was working with TCS, and from there I started learning data engineering. So every second people when I looked around me, they had this AWS certification. So demand was high, but also every second people that I looked around me had this AWS certification. And I didn't want it to be part of the crowd. Okay, I didn't want it to be the part of crowd, since most of the companies were using AWS because AWS was launched before Azure. Okay, and every second people I looked around me had AWS certification. At that time I was working in TCS. Then so I rejected this. No, I will not be learning this, because every second people were knowing this. So of course, if demand is high, supply is also high. Then I moved to this Azure. When I came here, I came to know that this is Microsoft product. And after AWS, this Azure was the second technology that has the second biggest market share. I mean, the company. What do I mean by market share? It means the number of companies that were using Azure as the cloud platform was in second position after this AWS. But then I did few of the analysis. Like it had second number of market share, but the candidates, I never saw any candidate who had this Azure knowledge or Azure certification around me. In such a nascent stage, or in such a new technology, it was at that time. Okay, and right now also that this is the situation, such a new technology it is. You will find very few people around you who have this Azure cloud knowledge. Actually, I have taken more than 500 interviews, and there are very less candidates who really know Azure actually. Okay, so this is about Azure. Again, I did few more research on that. Okay, because of its high demand and less supply, the demand for this technology is very high in the market, and the people who are really skill set in Azure is actually very less. At that time also it was less, right now also it is less, because day by day its demand is increasing. Day by day more companies are trying to adopt this Azure platform. Why more and more companies are trying to adopt this Azure platform? Because it is a Microsoft product. Companies trust more on Microsoft product, right? So here, if this is a Microsoft product and companies would trust more on this. This is a Microsoft product and companies would trust more on this. Companies have already Microsoft product set up in their companies, right? Like the Windows that we use is also a Microsoft product. Office 365, Teams, Word, Outlook, all those things that we are using in companies are a Microsoft product. So it's very obvious that they will try to incorporate any Microsoft product only in their infrastructure, so that its integration gets easy with other Microsoft product that they are already using. Okay. So this is what I thought, and also it had excellent pay. I mean, 15-20 lakhs, these are very normal things for this Azure Data Engineering profile. Many candidates from web developers profile, from Java developers profile, from database developers profile, they are trying to move into this profile. This is such a demanding technology. Okay. Another thing is, I mean, the shortage in the market is such that even you know the basics, okay, you know the basics or little bit more than basics, you are good to go. Industries would hire you, because they itself don't know much depth about these technologies actually, this technology actually. Okay. The next point that I want to discuss is about GCP, which is a Google product, right? This is a Google product, and I want to discuss about this GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Cloud Platform, and this, when I started researching on this GCP, this had lowest share in the market. I mean, very less industries, companies were there who was really using this GCP as a cloud platform. So again, this was a risk for me, okay, because there were very few companies who were using this platform. This AWS has more, I mean, most market share, but also, as I said, every second person in front of me in TCS had this AWS certification. So I didn't choose this. I didn't want it to be part of crowd. Then I moved with this Azure, considering this as the safe zone, as the Microsoft product, and with this analysis, whatever I said, more trust as this is Microsoft product, more compatibility with already existing Microsoft products that companies are using. So I use this Azure cloud for learning data engineering, and that was one of the best decisions that I have taken in my life. Okay, and due to, okay, that was one of the best decisions that I took in my life, and this is what the story is, and this is what the reason is why I suggest everyone, like, why to choose Azure Data Engineering as a career. Thank you everyone. I hope you liked this video. I was able to remove some of your confusion that were going inside your mind. If you have any questions, you can comment in my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much.